Alles voussein. Alles vaus in. Allons-y. Do I want to give him the jacket or do I want to keep my full jacket? Definitely something inherently like, aw, about the idea of giving up on having my full set. I just gotta admit that. I'm like one piece away from full mech set and full that set. Okay, these guys have been obsessing over my car all day and it's starting to get weird. Speaking of which, I haven't called in the station for a while. Sorry for calling you, lady. I didn't mean to. I mean, I did mean to, but I should probably put my cop clothes on first, even though it's like makes no particular sense, but it's fine. We're looking for a purple stat. Knowing the color of the stat just helps filter my behaviors a little bit. I'm quickly trying to scan through them all. For EDS, that's the same slot. That might be my only EDS slot. I think that's all I get. It's just, are you wearing a jacket? Good, you're EDS now. That's the only bonus I get. Yep. Yep. I should save that one white check for as long as possible at this point. Alice, please connect me to Station 41's Lazarus. It will just take a moment, officer. Her voice fades out to the familiar radio static. Oh, the Lazarus. Whoops. Gottlieb. What have we got into this time? Right, this is like the manager guy. Kind of HR psychologist or whatever it was. Psychiatrist. I made a mistake here a little bit. What have you got yourself into this time? The question's followed by the sound of someone taking a long drag. How'd you know it was me? Didn't, but now I do. How's the drinking going? I've decided to stop. Completely. Forever. Great to hear it. Stop by sometime when you're done with your case. I'll draw some blood, run it through, let you know how much forever your liver's gonna give you. Oh, I don't like it. Yeah, just the 41st is what I was meant to say. Also the corpse, actually. Yeah, I need to report a dead body on the Martinez boardwalk. One moment. You can hear shuffling through some papers. Can you please describe the body, age, sex, cause of death? An unidentified middle-aged man, height 170 to 175 centimeters, dark hair, medium build. Looks like he slipped, fell through a hole in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. We suspect he might have been inebriated when he fell. There were bottles all around him, and traces of vomit on his shirt. Any signs of violence? No. Seems like it was an accident. No field autopsy necessary, she repeats. You hear her quickly typing in the background. What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes? He was wearing boots, trousers, an old leather jacket with a bright blue lining. I found a library card from his pockets. Any information on the library card? It's from Central Jamrock Public Library. It belongs to someone named Billy Megane. Good, you have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else? We're taking the case. I have assigned the case to Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue. Oh, it got assigned to him. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you? Yeah, connect me to Jamrock Public Library. Hold on, officer. I've got Central Jamrock Public Library in the line, and I've already introduced you to their librarian. Connecting the call in 2, 1. Yes, this is the Central Jamrock Public Library here. A male librarian answers the call. How can I help you, officer? He sounds worried, yet ready to assist. This is how people get when the police call. I'm looking for any information you can provide on Billy Magin, a reader. Billy Magin, you said. Give me a moment. I'll have to check our database. He puts down the receiver. On Moreau Drive in Central Jamrock, in a darkened hall lit by orange desk lamps, far away from the noise outside, a middle-aged man taps commands into an old radio computer. A printout falls on the desk. Behind him, a lonely reader scours some dusty bookshelves, looking for paperback. Yes, hello? Are you still there? You're gonna hear him fiddle with the printout. I found Billy Magin's home address. Is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately. Yeah, home address is fine. Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe. Cape Side Apartments, it says. That's all. That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it? Do you have any other information on Billy Magin? It says here they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day. Do you know someone who was? Mary? He covers the phone with his hand and yells out to the room behind him. Mary, do you remember a reader named Billy Magin? They returned a Tybalt book the other day. You hear someone answer from afar. Maurice? What? A woman yells, then, yes, okay, if it was the police. She starts explaining something. Oh, breakthrough on the homosexual underground. It strikes at any time. You never know when it might happen. Yes, it was my colleague, Marie. The librarian is speaking to the phone again. He said it was Billy's husband who returned the book. Oh, I just reported the wrong person dead. Oops. I just reported the wife is dead. Well, I'll fix this, right? I can fix it, it's fine. He was also looking for this new sci-fi release, Loose, Radio City 87, but we don't have it yet. So Billy Magin's a woman, not a man. How did your colleague know that it was her husband? Mary knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband returns some books for her. And then goes for a little drink later, on the lookout. You know the husband's name? Sorry, no. Mary only knows him by sight. Can Mary describe to me how the husband looked? Mary. A moment pauses. She said it's an older man, and that she's pretty sure he had a drink or two last time she saw him. What was he wearing? 1 second. The lieutenant turns away. The librarian turns away from the phone again and relays the question. You can really tell which words are getting primed and you're getting familiar with saying in a particular playthrough sometimes. Like lieutenant. Sorry, Mary wasn't really paying any attention to that. Thank you, that's all for me. I have no other questions. End call with library, immediately make embarrassing call about the misidentified body. Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer. Librarian hangs up and the call gets redirected back to the station with a soft click. Shit. How do I re-report the dead body? This is a problem. Alright. I was going to talk to the station again about other things, but you know what? Let's deal with other things first. Oh, also this. What a visual, by the way. There's a lot to just take in about what the fuck I'm looking at there. These visuals. What am I... Ah. It's like the brain worm from Starship Troopers. It's afraid. It's afraid. Like there's feet here, and then legs going up to like these are pants. So like this is his, this is like his midriff, and that's his shirt, and that's his like above his shirt. That's like his head, but he's leaning over here. And then this is just coming out, and it looks vaguely penis-like, but it's like not the right part of the body. This is supposed to be a giant penis wearing pants. But the way it's just like slurping out, it looks like those pictures of like the weird, like the McDonald's meat, when it's like a pink slime. Oh, it's a sausage factory, because it's the homosexual underground. So he's a sausage machine. Is that what that is? Yeah, it looks like one of those like those grinders that pumps out sausage. It might have been what they're going for, but like this is like foreskin. Like there's a lot of distressing mixed imagery going on, which is usually the case in these drawings. There's a lot to unpack. Like this whole poster, unfortunately the highest resolution one that exists in the world is only 1,000 pixels wide, which is not enough. I think they teased that they might put out a high-res version with the collector's edition or something like that. I don't know. I want to get my hands on like a proper resolution version of this poster, because there's just a lot of art to unpack there. Maybe you should stop obsessing about your own and other people's sexuality. Feels like it's about time to do that. You've thought about this for 8 hours? Not only should you stop, you should tell Kim you've stopped obsessing about other people's sexuality too. I'm sure he'd appreciate it, unless you already got him killed because you were obsessing about your sexuality. There's no way of telling him from within your own brain, but for your own sake, please say you didn't. Stop obsessing about sexuality. I just stopped obsessing about sexuality. There it goes. I'm done, apparently. That's all it takes. It's just that easy, and then you're just done. Is that even a bonus? Does that even do anything? I don't think that... I think nothing came of that at all. I should go tell that other guy that I stopped obsessing about sexuality. Listen, I just wanted to know if there was like a whole quest line where you uncover the homosexual underground of some kind. Be it a secret spy organization or just literally a gay club or something. I don't know. Enough of these thoughts have turned out to actually go somewhere that I was curious if it would go somewhere. Because that could have been the funniest thing. Where does she go? Where'd she go?
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
I don't care about you that much. This is also not the most convenient way to get to where I'm trying to go anyway. The reader has vanished. Got a few things going on here. Let's finish the homosexual thought. Just because I can immediately replace it with something else. But I do want to check if there's dialogue about it. You guys are really committed to just sitting here forever. There is not. Yep, not much else going on there. Drink up, boys. Social democracy's pain. Well, once I get a bit more experience, I can just start cooking another thought. I like cooking the thoughts. I've put a disproportionate amount of experience points into the process. The other thing was in a cooler, so let's leave it for last. Also, it involves, you know what? Let's talk to the police station while they're still open. And then I'll go to the apartment, and then I'll go to the cooler. Because it's in a cooler, so maybe I shouldn't keep it in my inventory for that long. But I'm also thinking about, like, stuff might close soon. I should call the cops. Reconnect to the 41st. Right. Please hold. She sighed. 10th floor, come in. He hesitates. Firewalker. Over. I'm happy to report that I have found my badge, Jules. 10th floor, sir. Glad to hear that. I'll write down that there's no need to issue a new one to you then. Over. Feels good to get that off your chest, right? Celebration with beer? Stop. Insidious. This might sound odd, but there's personal details I'd like to discuss. 10-4, sir. Sorry, but I'm under orders to give a negative to request for personal information. Over. You mean you can't tell me anything about me? But I'm me. 10-4. Orders are still orders. Anything else? Over. Am I getting hazed by my own station? 10-10. Transmission completed. Standing by. Over. Wow. Alright. Roger that. 10-10. Over and out. With those words, the cabin becomes silent again, the microphone resting on its hook. Well, I guess that's that. Huh. I think people kind of suggested there might be more to do with talking to the cops on the radio. So I was kind of curious, but kind of a dead end. Just reporting my badge, and all you do is just say, they're just like, nice, and then you move on. Why am I looking at this wall? I do keep getting better at conceptualization. Is it time for me to try this again? Why not? I'm sure people love it when I keep looking at the screen. Yeah, conceptualization is a blue stat. I like the idea that I'm just running around with all these ridiculous items all the time. Can you just highlight it directly? Nope. No. Oh. Oh, you can. Oh, that's useful. That means you can tell... You should be able to tell the minuses too. Like there's minus to logic, so logic should show pluses and yeah. Yeah. That's useful. You can tell whether or not you're currently wearing something that reduces it. But I still have to check through all these to find the ones that can add to it. And I can always add to it manually, but I don't have any points right now. But, you know, someday. Why am I looking at this wall? Yeah, why? It's a wall. Ordinary wall. Why must we stop to look at this wall every time we pass by? We have business to attend to. You find me charming, Kim. You can't trick me. Alright, let's find this apartment. Apartment number 20. What are their numbers? Lady can probably tell me.
Give me a moment.
I'm looking for Billy Magine. Do you know where she lives? She narrows her pale gray eyes. It's about Victor, isn't it? It's always about Victor with her. You'll find Magine in apartment 20 upstairs. It's one of the doors on the balcony. Thanks, I'm off. There's the balcony. Last time I came in here, I walked out the other exit on accident. I'm like, no, I did too many cutscenes. I mean, too many loading screens. Oh. Well, probably the other balcony, huh? There's not really people around here. Hey, up here, Piggo. I'm already up here, Pigette. There's the balcony. That's the one that actually has people on it. Apartment 20. I guess I'll just check, because I can't see numbers. Oh, there we go. A weathered brown door. The number reads 20. Something smells good. Soup à l'oignon. Soup à l'oignon. Alright, soup, French onion soup. It's French onion soup. I learned thing. Lieutenant motions you to go ahead and knock. Hold on, Kim. We should discuss this before we move on. What should we expect? You're right. Let's talk this through. He looks at the apartment door and lowers his voice a bit. You hear light footsteps passing the door and some folk music playing in the radio. We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Magin. We need to confirm this. As well as deliver the death notification to Billy herself. Now, delivering the death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. That's why it's usually done in pairs. You've got this. I'll be monitoring reactions, ready to act if necessary. Do you have any advice on how to tell her he's dead? Just don't say that you know how they feel. You don't. Good advice. Try to bail out. Alright, I think I'm ready. This is gonna suck.
Hello? Who is it?
A voice calls out from the other side of the door. And someone turns down the radio. Is this Billy Magin's home? This is the police. Please open the door.
The police? A moment, please. Give us a moment.
You hear shuffling inside. Tidying up, nervously. There's fear in her voice.
Come in, the door is open.
He unlocks the door. Oh. Yep, that's her. I believe we met, right? Didn't I first start looking for a working class man because I talked to her about it and how she was missing? An empty pack of red Astor cigarettes hidden under the bed. Same brand of cigarettes you found in the trash next to the deceased. Packages of humanitarian aid macaronis. Some leftovers kept warm on the stovetop. Smells like buckwheat and onions in here. Windows covered in old newspaper clippings, but like very partially? I guess to dim things out a little bit. A chalk-drawn height chart for children's growth over the years. Oh, they had kids. They have kids? A textbook for high school, mathematics, trigonometry mostly. Posters of contemporary pop stars adorn the walls. The clock is ticking away with odd cheerfulness. Oh, they have kids right now. That's not good. This got worse.
It's you, from the bookstand.
She looks at you for a moment without knowing what to do.
I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink? Or tea, lemonade? We're out of coffee.
The lieutenant has taken off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in his handkerchief for now. You're on your own here. Condensation from stepping inside. You must feel vulnerable without his glasses. Is this why he's letting you take the lead? Thanks, but I'm alright. Is this about Victor, my husband? Is he in some kind of trouble again? I can come pick him up at the station if that's what... She stops, her eyes trying to read answers from your face. Keep it together. You don't want your body language to tell her the news. Sorry, I'm rambling. She shakes her head and tries to laugh it off. It's just that Victor often gets in all sorts of trouble. So how could I help you? How about some small talk before you break the news? Ooh, that's a very high chance of success. Empathy 5. I can be slightly higher, technically. Why didn't I preemptively increase my... I really should have preemptively increased my empathy. I thought about it, and I didn't do it. Because I was like... because it's inherently more useful for this situation, obviously. But it's a really high chance still. +4 for Kim being here. I get a lot of support from Kim. Kept my composure, +1. Discussed things through with Kim, Lieutenant's handkerchief. So a lot of these details are helping, I guess. So, how have you been? How have I been? He shakes her head. You're not here to discuss me. What is this about, officer? Did I just make it worse? Too much small talk? Can't write a scene without knowing the actors. Ask more. Get comfortable around here. You live here with Victor, your husband, right? It's me, Victor, and the kids here. She nods. We have 2 daughters, Jenny and Jolie. How old are your daughters? Jolie is 16, Jenny's about 18 next month. Where is everybody? I don't see anyone home. The girls are staying at their friend's place tonight, and Victor is out. She swallows, visibly. Out where? He has a problem with drinking, and so he disappears every now and then. He's probably in the parks, drinking with his friends. I sent him to the library a few days ago, but I guess something came up. She smiles sourly. What was he supposed to do in the library? Just return a book of mine. Why? He looks at you. She looks at you quizzically. Why all those questions, detective? Did he do something? Break something? It's a fool's hope. Was it the glinting curve by M. Tybalt? Yes. She becomes unsettled as she says that, her forehead scrunching up into a worried expression. Do you remember what he was wearing last time you saw him? His old leather jacket? Can you describe it? It's just your average brown leather jacket, but he bought it as a teenager, so... No distinctive features? No, well... She stops. The lining is hand-sewn. It's blue. I tried to make the thing more weatherproof since he's running around with it in the middle of winter. What was the name of the library? Oh, it's in Jamrock, the one on Mineral Street. I don't know the official name. Central Jamrock Public Library. I think, yes. That's the one on Monroe. Asking leading questions like, did he make it to the library, all like adds to like the worry, I think. There's something else I have to tell you. Things are getting better. My empathy is dead, right? Yeah, if I put a point into it, I lose the ability to unlock white checks for the rest of the game. As far as I can tell. Otherwise, I might put a point in just to like bolster myself. Can I do my... I think I can do my clothes first, though. Yeah. That might be as high as it gets. A sorting system would be kind of helpful. I've got so many items now. Could just not min-max, but I'm scared. I'm trying to not ruin this person's day. Well, like, you can't not, but try not to fuck it up more. That'll help a little bit. Tell her about the dead body. That's as good as it's gonna get, 97%. Crit fail. No. You've done this before. Just keep your focus. God, do I just say he's dead like that? Yes, that's the most important thing. Use that word. No euphemisms. This is what you came here for. Ma'am, I'm very sorry to say, but your husband Victor Megin was found dead on the Martinez boardwalk. She blinks. What did you say? Your husband, Victor Megin, is dead. I'm very sorry for your loss, ma'am. Oh. She touches her neck, eyes pale like pearls in seawater. Oh, she says again. But he was just... She looks at the kitchen table, where 2 cigarette butts are still in the tray. But he was just here. Alive. We understand this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner, he points to you, are here for you if you have any questions. Take your time, ma'am. What happened to him? She turns to you. Her neck and cheeks are covered with red blotches. Her double chin is shaking. It was an accident. He fell through a hole in the boardwalk and hit his head. Was he drunk? Alcohol may have played a role, yes. I see. She withdraws, trying to picture the scene. And you just found him there, lying in the cold? How long had he been there? If you say 2 days, maybe, it will be etched in her mind forever. It couldn't have been long. She blinks, eyes welling up with tears, as her hands start searching for something from the pockets of her dress. The handkerchief. Here, take this. Let's not say anything. Let's just hand her the handkerchief. I'm actually not entirely sure which one's better necessarily. A small, terrified smile quivers on her face as she takes the handkerchief and wipes away the tears. She looks disoriented. Is there anyone we could call for you? A friend? A family member? Someone who could be here for you? No. She breathes in. I just need to tell my girls. The air gets sucked out of her lungs suddenly. Unreal. God, should I call them? Should I tell them to come home? No. A day. No. Take a day to recover. You'll be prepared when they come home tomorrow. Good. That's probably the right thing. Thank you. She nods, but with a wretched expression. Just tell me. What do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him? We've taken him to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number in case you want to contact him later. Earlier. A very good call. He hands her a leaflet with the morgue's contact information. Is there anything else that the RCM can do for you? No. I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still... He rubs her face, runs her fingers over cheeks that have become numb. Thank you. She looks down. Thank you for telling me. I'll call if... She runs out of breath. Again, I'm very sorry, ma'am. The lieutenant nods to the woman, then looks back at you, his voice lowered. We should step outside and talk. Set the library card by her, leave the room. What does Kim have to say, I wonder? Did I do something wrong? Is he mad about the handkerchief, or was it handled super well? I'm worried that's gonna be like a final distressing insult or something that I like that I reported the wrong name, so she might see her own name on the file or something for the victim, or not victim.
You did well.
The lieutenant says as soon as you've left the apartment. The balcony feels cool and quiet, with a stunning view over the district. I could have done more. You did enough. He pauses, rubbing his hands together to generate some heat. Can't save the whole world, you know. Can't bring the dead back. What now? I'll call the station when we're finished with the day, and let them know the name of the deceased. What about Billy and her kids? They'll manage. They have to. It's not your it's not your place to live their lives. That's it? That's it. We should get back to our case now that our duty here is done. Right. This is closed then. He nods. Let's go. It's on me. Not me, but my character. He would have been found. I would have found him sooner. Potentially. If I hadn't, fucked up the bridge for 2 days. That's why he was laying there for so long. Who is this? Demands a female voice, very intense. A female voice. Not in my hand. Yeah, that minor detail. I still feel iffy about the whole breaking in thing. I know, right? What a crazy... What kind of lunatic doesn't want to just break into a place someone might live in right now? A female voice that's wary about opening the door that's nearby. There's a slight chance it could be Ruby. We don't have a lot of other places we've found yet, necessarily. Oh god damn it, I didn't ask... We'll get back to her anyway, but I didn't ask the old woman about the, I mean, I'm about to head there right now, because I'm gonna get the mainframe thing. I didn't ask her about the bullet. Whoops. Machine's unplugged. Better grip with gloves. Wow. Really? I'm holding the super tool and I'm still fucked. Alright. Well, physical instruments red. I do have a negative stat right now, which is not helping. Which one's less embarrassing? No one knows. Maybe Kim can help out if I suck this bad? Or maybe not. I have a lot of pain threshold bonus. Wow. Pain threshold. Pain threshold. Pain threshold. But like, where's physical instrument? Can I get some of those, maybe? I have a -2 from thoughts. Wasteland of reality. Insomnia is doing it to me. This work in progress is fucking me up. Alright. Wow. Why is my chance of success so low? Ice squeaks beneath your Valson multi-tool, but your fingers slip away from the tool. The lid shut as tightly as before. And it's already unplugged. There's not much else to do other than wait for it to defrost or bulk up and get stronger. How long is it gonna take to defrost? Can I start a fire? How long do you have to be unplugged for? Shit. Well, I might have to wait until tomorrow because Wasteland of Reality wiped out my physical instrument. That's not great for me. Kim, you're probably more fit than I am, right? Considering I have a negative stat. Can you help me out? I can only put a point in the physical instrument once in the entire playthrough. And this kind of seems like it might be the moment, but I should wait for the -2 to go away. Shit. Alright, well that plot line's on pause for now. I can still go back and ask about the bullet though. That is not good news. Find the right tool or ask Suna for help. She already gave me the right tool, didn't I? It just was garbage. It didn't solve my problem at all. Problem exists between chair and computer. We hyped this thing up for a while, so I'm a little disappointed. My inside brain or whatever was all hyping up this mega pry bar I was gonna get one day. And it didn't even help. This is an advanced pry bar. A pry bar +2, if you will. Built by Valsund and Vasa. The number of gadgets hidden within the frame of the yellow and gray multi-tool will stagger any technician. How many different things can it do? I wonder if this would also open the garbage that was locked before. I think she totally was there that one time and I just didn't notice her because it's so hard to see her in the shadow.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Why was there a bullet under the floorboards of your shack? God damn that girl, she murmurs softly. And without anger. A long and harsh life has taught her not to buckle under pressure. A bullet? The lieutenant turns to you and gives you a little nod. Then turns to the washerwoman. You didn't put it there, did you? She did. Gone and hid things in there. She shakes her head. She's usually a good tenant. Not a stupid one either. You rented the room to her? The old woman sits in silence, her hands moving into the water bucket. Some water sloshes over the edge. Slowly she speaks, wringing out the rag. Yes, I lent my room out to the Ruby girl. As I've done before, when she's been in trouble, or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear, we welcome all kinds of people here. When was this? She came last Friday, left on Monday, in a hurry. Her wrinkled hand needs a blue rag in the water. What has she gotten herself into, that girl? She seems genuinely worried about her previous tenant. She's seen her hiding out from trouble before, but this seems different. That's for the police to find out. The lieutenant takes out his familiar blue notebook. Right then. Please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few. You said she left on Monday? Yes, early. With the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think. Is the room exactly as she left it? I cleaned it, like I always do. Was there anything else there? No. The truth, sire. What is she like, Ruby? She's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. She rubs her cold hands together. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation, so I really appreciate that about her. Did she talk to you much during her last stay? No. She was mostly silent this time. Kept to herself. What do you mean? She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room. Why do you think she left the bullet there? How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun. She looks back towards her shack, thinking. You could ask her about your hunch. That it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill. I have a possible explanation in mind. Aye, do tell. A seagull flies overhead, obviously a bad omen. An exit plan. Exit from what? This. Spread your hands. The lieutenant stops writing for a moment. He looks at you, then at the old woman. She tilts her head to the side, looking up at you, deep in thought. Then she makes up her mind. No. She's a fighter. She really believes that. Where'd she go? I don't know. Further up the coast. She tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. Heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north. It's a peninsula. She might be trapped. After a moment of silence, she says, You'll never find her, you know. Her tone is without malice. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived. I wouldn't worry about that, ma'am. We're persistent. Further up the coast we go, then. Are you sure you wouldn't rather stay here? Get a nice, cozy fire going in the heater. She drops the rag into the bucket. It's clean now. Seems like a better idea to me. The felled electric mural. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time. I had a few more questions about Ruby. Did I, though? No, I didn't. Goodbye. I'm off. One thing, officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her. The air is getting colder. She really means it. It's an honest plea. She is a good girl, whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in. Everyone likes Ruby. A lot of people talking about her as being a friend, specifically. Which raises questions about things. This mural turns out it might have been more important than thought. Maybe I should be cooking that brain thought that's about it. The Wompty Dumpty Dom Center, which is the one I didn't cook yet. Yeah. Goodbye, homosexual underground. I'm back to obsessing over my sexuality, apparently. Only 42 minutes. Ah. I could have cranked that one out in no time. You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, tomorrow is just a whisper away. Step closer. Above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall. And the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. Spelled electrical. How ironic, all these dark rooms. Spelled electrical. You only know them as a small company that makes ink cartridges. Looks like they used to be big. There's something in the wind. Something. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first. Why do I feel like I know this place? Indeed, somehow you knew it was here, an urban ruin. Gutted by looters that once used to commune money and dispense warmth and light. You felt it before, when it rained in Martinez and you felt the cold of the rain. The feeling persists. It has been in you ever since. Ruby be in here? In there? She could, or... He points behind you. She could be in the identical ruin over there. Or in the boat shack. Or that church tower, maybe. Impossible 20, and I have a 92% chance. Wow. +3 for finding the empty trap. +3 on Lena's true story. +1 on a reconstructed execution. +3 on death notification. Jesus. Whoa. These are so many different elements. Like, this is basically a series of side quests that I did that gave me such a strong feel for the entire coastal village area that I've now become one with it, and my Shivers sense can now take over. That's kind of fascinating. Because Shivers is this weird, like, I have the pulse of the town in my soul skill. The fact that I've, like, communed with the local area and interacted with everybody and solved problems and even gone as far as, like that last one, the death notification. I reported a corpse that was found on the pier and broke it to the wife, and that helps my chance at this, apparently. That's different. Listen to the wind. Fail. Even though you're sure you succeeded, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down. The road in front of you is silent as a tomb. What was I even attempting to do here? Trying to talk to the wind? The city? Whatever you thought would happen did not, and now you're just standing here with your hands fallen to your side. Aw. Well, that's anticlimactic. Turn to the lieutenant. She could be anywhere. How do we find her? How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. The lieutenant sighs, then gets a hold of himself. Okay. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. He looks north. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas in our wild cryptid hunt, so we have an understanding of the geography at least. See, it all helped. Haha. I appreciate that these quests are all interacting with other quests, and we're remembering things we did already in the other storylines. It's kind of fun. And then there's the church. He looks at the bell tower. We've already searched that, and we can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is a step too. I know exclusion's a step. Listen, when I was like 5, I was a Guess Who champ. That was like my favorite board game when I was a tiny child that could only play games that had like 3 rules. Then I moved on to Labyrinth, which is such a good children's game that it's the only one that I'm still willing to play. The Amazing Labyrinth is actually pretty great. And it's also good for introducing people to tabletop games because you can explain the entire rule set in like 30 seconds, and it's actually kind of a fun little weird task. The Amazing Labyrinth. Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way. Sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula. Ask the locals. Enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village. And if that fails, if we don't find her, then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that. He looks behind him. at the dark red box crumbling around the chasm, across the chasm. Walk the coast. The old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look where it already got you. An adventure awaits. An adventure on the wind-swept urban coast. Why is such a high chance? I mean, sure. Suddenly there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing, from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsed stone box in front of you in her breath, flowing through it. Where does it go? In through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust of the stairs, and then the beach below the boardwalk. Its winding tunnels, a whisper away. What is happening? She's down there. I think she's down there, below this building. Okay, why? We've looked everywhere else. Right. He shrugs. How do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. They're gone, basically. Finally, my time to shine! Oh no, you're like my worst yellow stat. You are. This one's a 9. You're a 4. You're a sad boy. What have I done to you? You're actually not that bad, because 5 is your starting stat. You're only down by 1 from an item I'm wearing. Because I'm wearing heels right now. You're just the only one I've never increased, I guess. Also hand-eye coordination, I guess, but that doesn't come up nearly as much. Sneak under their noses, stun with immense panache. I kind of was expecting more explicit stealth segments to happen than have, arguably. There's a ladder next to the sign. Perhaps we can climb them, enter through the roof. Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old and I plan to live to see 70. Well, I'm 44, I think. Was I 44? What's my age? What's my age again? What's my age again?